I'm Lance Yoder from Rockwell Automation. I do master data management within SAP, specifically around the material master area. We have about 1.4 million records within SAP, unique individual materials that we have to manage. So the extension process is a very important process for us. So my main role is to manage the extension and the creation processes for those materials. The challenges that we had with SAP were more around customized workflow that we had created for our material extension process. It worked very well when we had only a few plants online with SAP. We started out in 2007 with just one plant, so as a test to see what we needed to do. And as we added more plants, that customized workflow was no longer meeting the needs that we had. The goals that we had when looking for a solution were to see what we could do as business users to put some of those rules and those activities within our hands versus always counting on IT to help support that. And Winshuttle provided that perfect match of allowing IT to manage the hardware and support and application support, but allowed us to do non-programmatical scripts to automate the processes that we were most inclined to doing, like a material master extension. Since then, we've branched out into other transactions, but the key reason we went with Winshuttle was the ability for us to make the decisions and have the flexibility to change a script without having IT change control processes. The way we got IT and our business involvement as far as an approval was to show them that this tool doesn't allow us to do anything that we can't already do. So we're just automating things that we can already do as users. And if a user doesn't have access to a particular transaction, by using the runner capability, they can't run a transaction that they already don't have access to. So you're not going around what SAP provides from a security model. You're just enabling the user to be more productive. And with the central component, that allowed our risk and controls team that really manages exposure and audit purposes for security and process within the company. They really said, if you don't have the central component, you can't use this, because that gives a separation of duties between a developer and a runner. Even though our developers are business users, we don't want them to be testing and developing scripts within the production environment. So with Central, that was the key thing that got risk and controls buy-in, was that not only can we not do things we're not allowed to do, but there's a separation of developer and runner. So we can't automatically approve our own scripts. There's an approval process. Because we still have a lot of legacy systems around, a lot of those legacy systems spit out reports specifically around finance, where we need to invoice our sister companies that are on legacy systems. They tell us what we've purchased from that company, and we need to invoice the other company or pay a bill. So they're spitting out reports in that sense, and then they were just keying in all of that data. Well, now that we have those transactions that we can just take that report and load it up, we have someone review the data just to make sure it's valid and not going to cause any problems. And instead of manually keying in that data, we just load it with runner. So a lot of the benefits that we're getting right off the top were where we were manually loading data that was generated from a report. So now we can just take the data from a report and load it into SAP with very minimal validation and key punching. We did a couple hours of online training with some of the Winshuttle support. We did maybe 4-hour sessions. So we had some time where we just messed around with the tool, and then we did the training. We found that to be more beneficial than just doing the training, not having any runtime with the product on the road. So we did buy some training from Winshuttle in a couple 2-hour increments. So we did the training, applied it, then the next round of training we were able to ask more intelligent questions and get more advanced answers. Yeah, Winshuttle has been beneficial to IT because we can create scripts that maybe only get used one time and then they're done. Specifically around a new release of SAP, we generally use for deployment, we use the SAP load programs, but sometimes they forget a field, they do something wrong, there's a mistake. Winshuttle allows you to create a script relatively quickly to update a particular field or correct an issue. Yeah, I would definitely recommend Winshuttle to other groups or other companies that have the same problems of master data management or repetitive key punching of the same things. If you're getting reports out of one system and you're manually keying that data in, Winshuttle can definitely provide productivity for those groups almost immediately.